Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. Happy Saturday, everybody. I am wearing my CSG shirt that I won in an Instagram caption contest a while ago. I was actually surprised at how many CSG cards I saw at the National and how many people were grading on-site at the National. Big cards. So, as I mentioned yesterday, Junk Wax Investor, the original guy, not the current owners, the original Junk Wax Investor reached out to me a couple of weeks ago now and said that he had seen my video 6 weeks or so ago that came out about the sale of the channel and all the changes that have happened, and he wanted to release a statement to me addressing a lot of the concerns and questions. And I also want to say, if you have any questions, put them in, any questions that aren't addressed in here, put them in comments. I'll see if I can get him to address them. I don't think he'll get into the comments, but he will send me responses, maybe. We will see. First of all, his name is Nick, and to confirm, he is Canadian, as a lot of you thought, and as I thought. For some reason, there were some people in the comments saying he's not, or that his accent wasn't Canadian. He is Canadian. His name is Nick. So I'm going to read this. It's very long. It's not, I mean, I'd like to, I don't know, put some music over it or something, but that's not the kind of thing I do. I am going to stop and add a little context as well about making content. All right, let's start. First off, I do want to say that the decision to sell the Junk Wax Investor was one that was not reached spontaneously or easily, and it was a decision that wasn't taken lightly, as I know that I built a great community and the action would have some negative feedback. For a bit of context to the why I sold, I can give a bit of the background story. I started Junk Wax Investor in 2020 when I was working from home and had more free time on my hands, and my day job had slowed down. I can relate to this. As my job started to get busier, I continued to work on Junk Wax Investor early in the mornings before work, in the evenings, and on the weekends. If I split my time commitments up into career, JWI, and hobby, and family time, I found myself with less of the JWI hobby time as the channel grew and I was getting busier at work. In 2022, I pushed the channel hard and was putting out 6 videos a week. Again, this was me end of last year, first quarter of this year, pushing way too hard. It felt like work. He says, I took this extra time from the hobby bucket and really stopped collecting and doing the fun stuff in the hobby that I enjoyed when I had gotten back into it and committed myself to a second job. Then in the back half of, and second job in quotes, then in the back half of 2022 and early 2023, the work career demands ramped up even further and I had to make a lot of tough choices. This is when I switched away from the 6 videos a week, but even with that, the JWI time and commitment was pulling out of the family time bucket. I was also burnt out from the 6 videos a week I was doing in 2022 and realized that it was not sustainable and had to make a change. I get this. My kids are older. I don't know how old Nick's kids are, but mine, it's easier for me because my kids are at that age that they have friends and activities all the time, and I have plenty of time. I can find 5 hours a week to make videos, and I really enjoy it. But if my kids were younger, I never would have been able to do this. He continues, the choices were to keep the channel and really cut back the videos, or take a hiatus completely or sell it. It was actually a tough choice because I had so much time invested into the brand and I didn't want to walk away from it. I decided that I wasn't going to just sell to anyone. The buyer had to have an interest in sports cards or collectibles, and I wanted them to grow the channel to a level that I wouldn't be able to do all by myself as a hobbyist. There were lots of great suggestions every video on new topics to cover, and I just couldn't add any more content to the schedule as I was tapped out. I get this too. I have literally thousands of video ideas in a file I keep on my phone, thousands of them, and I have, it gets overwhelming. I have, 50 browser tabs open of things that I think could become a video, and I think, oh, I'll do this week, I'll do this next week. And it's impossible to keep up with. The group that I ultimately sold to and the new owners of the JWI brand was exactly what I was looking for in a buyer. If you look at their nerdable.com website, they produce tons of content that covers not only sports cards, but other collectibles as well, which would be a great addition to what was already being covered on JWI. Also, with a group behind it, there's a lot of potential to grow the brand to a whole new level. I get his thinking. You know, I went to nerdable.com. It seems like the right fit for JWI. He continues, additional points and comments. I love sports cards and love the hobby and will continue to be involved in it one way or another for as long as I can. Definitely as a collector, but hopefully as a creator again someday in the future when I am able to devote the proper amount of time to it. I have read all of the comments over the course of the transition and the new owner's videos. I have chosen not to get involved or comment myself for multiple reasons, including the fact that I sold all of my main social media accounts with this transaction, and I'm actually enjoying the break from the addictive nature of those platforms. But I thought maybe addressing some of the comments through a third party like Mike will help answer some questions and clear up some things. The how much was the channel sold for question is one that I won't answer. It is not my place to make that public. I would say that I struggled with accepting an offer purely on the monetary value alone, and if I was in a different stage in my life, I may not have accepted. However, when I started to look at the offer as not just a dollar amount, but I converted it into months of free time that I could spend with my family, it made the decision easy. So I won't tell you how much I sold for, but I will tell you that I sold for approximately 30 months of free evenings and weekends with my wife and our 9 and 6-year-old daughters. That's right, I forgot. 9 and 6. I never could have done what Nick did with his channel when my kids were roughly 9 and 6. It's impressive that he did this for as long as he did. It's a lot of work, and kids at that age are very, I don't want to use the word demanding or needy, but there's a lot of family time at that time. The comments to bring back the other guy, me, etc., are unfortunately not going to happen for the above point. Building this channel has been a great learning opportunity, and I have a few different ideas for content projects that I would like to pursue someday. However, that will not be until I have the proper time to allocate to it, and when I would be able to be on the other side of the camera and have a more personal relationship with the community. This will not happen for a while though, and the format will not be a JWI type channel. I know there have been a lot of comments about the suddenness of it and that I should have said something. Really, this was not possible. Anyone who has been involved in buying or selling businesses know that they can be complicated transactions with a lot of moving parts and risks on both sides, and up until the day a transaction closes, they can easily fall through for countless reasons. So I couldn't announce anything, and the day the deal actually closed, I was no longer in control of my social media. Some have commented that they had communicated to me on a personal level on social media, and I felt the same way. I enjoyed sharing my cards with everyone. I will reach out individually and join the community again, but just need a break from it right now. I personally feel that it's unfair to compare the new videos to what I was producing at the end, as you're comparing a creator's first few videos to those of someone who has had 600 plus videos to figure everything out. He makes a great point here, and I hadn't considered this. I was also one of those people who was critical of the new videos. My first videos, some would say my current videos are bad too, but my first videos were terrible. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a microphone even, and that's very small, very minor. And I still have a crappy microphone, still very low budget. But at the beginning, man, it was bad. He continues, I think that you have a creator that is willing to listen to constructive feedback and make the necessary changes from what I have seen so far. So let's work as a community to help shape the content to what it is you want. You only need to go back to my first videos late in 2020, early 2021, to see that these guys are light years ahead of where I was when I started, and they are making changes fast. Please don't go watch my first videos, as they are really bad. I have made lots of errors along the way and have learned from those mistakes, and I think that from what I have seen is that you have a new owner that is committed to the sports cards and collectible space and is willing to make changes. It takes just as long to write a comment that a Topps Desert Shield card isn't sold in a box as it does to explain why the Topps Desert Shield cards are special and rare or valuable, and that will make the videos better, sharing that information and knowledge. The fact that they added the bonus cards back in tells me they are interested in making changes for the sake of the viewers and the community, and not just based on video metrics and RPMs. The typical videos I would produce had 55 to 65% retention for the top sellers list portion, and it usually dropped down to 30 to 35% viewership for the bonus cards. This is something YouTube will tell you is the average person viewed the first X number of minutes, and then oftentimes you'll see a plunge in viewership at a certain point in the video. And apparently, Junk Wax Investor was losing about half of his audience when he got to bonus cards. Now, I will say that there were a lot of comments on his channel after the sale to bring back bonus content. So the people who were staying and watching them were very passionate about them. He continues, these type of metrics in your analytics would tell any creator to optimize the videos for the algorithm. They should drop the bonus cards and just do the top sales list. I kept the bonus cards because I enjoyed it, and the new owners added them back in because they care about what you guys want to see. This is a positive sign. It's true. The JWI channel has the potential to be as great as we will allow it to be, but we just need to help it get there by continuing to support the channel and providing constructive feedback that they can use to improve the product. If the views and subscribers grow, they will put more energy and resources into it to help it grow even more. They will make mistakes along the way, as I had done as well, and continue to do, but let's use the collective knowledge of the hobby to help them learn and grow. It took me well over 100 videos, maybe even 200, to get comfortable, and I still made a lot of mistakes after that. It's just part of the process. It's 100% right. It's not easy producing content and then having it out there on the web for all to see and criticize. Yeah. The way that I think this should be looked at on the surface is that this group spent some real cash to buy the JWI brand, and they're not just going to walk away and let it die. They will find a way to make it work and create something that the algorithm picks up and runs with again, and you guys, the audience, can have a hand in shaping what that looks like if you want to. But the feedback needs to be constructive, not just, I hate this, bring back the old guy. All of that anger and resentment is on me, and I'm willing to take it, but I'm not coming back to JWI. So be angry with me for selling out, and let's move on and help the new owners out and see how great we can make JWI. As far as specifics about the new owners of the channel, directions, comments, etc., that is not my place, and I honestly wouldn't know. From their website, it is definitely apparent that they are committed to the collectible space, so I have high hopes for the future of the channel and where they take it. Hopefully, you're able to reach someone with their group for that information if you want. Nick makes a lot of great points. It's hard making content, and there are always going to be people who criticize that content, and making constructive feedback is difficult and is much more difficult than saying you suck. I have improved thanks to constructive feedback. I mean, I've had people comment, your channel would be better if you had a microphone, for instance. Your channel would be better if you did this or this or this. And I listen to that. It doesn't mean I'm going to do every suggestion people make, but I weigh that feedback and I think, yeah, that could work, or that might help. Or I say, nah, that's not something I'm going to do. When I go in and I look at all the comments on Junk Wax Investor, it is a lot of bring back the other guy, which we know isn't going to happen, or this AI voice sucks, which is true, but apparently it's not AI according to them. So I don't know. I have tagged them in this in the title, and I asked Nick, is it going to be a problem if I tag them? And he said nope. So they will likely watch this video. So I'm curious what you think. Does this change your view in any way? It might not, and that's okay. But hopefully this helps answer some questions about the channel and the sale. And maybe you'll want to help them, the new owners, to get it back to the way it was before. Let me know in comments. All right, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a great weekend.